Hey everybody, I'm coming to you today to show you how I make my European style potato salad. Now there are two things you can do here. It can be vegan if you want it to. Today, part of my potato salad is going to be vegan for those that do not like bacon or any bacon drippings at all. And then another part of my potato salad is going to have some bacon and bacon drippings in it. So to begin with, we're just going with the vegan version. Right now I have a bowl full. I did a whole bag of red potatoes. I chopped them in this rustic style. It's not specifically uniform. It's just chopped, and then I boiled it till it was what my mother calls knackig. It still has a little bit of toothsomeness to it, but it's not super soft. So it'll hold up to everything I'm about to do to it. So there are the potatoes. I'm going to grab my spoons, which I should have already grabbed. Here are my spoons. And I pre-chopped and prepared my herbs and my veggies to go into it already. What I have here, I'm going to show you first. This is my thanks for coming bowl today. I didn't use a bowl, I used a plate. So what I have here is the stems from the parsley, the stems from the dill, the skin that I didn't want from my red onion. Now, this is not the exterior skin. This is the skin that's like 2 levels down. I got rid of the entire exterior, and then I'm going to put this in my thanks for coming bowl. If you've never seen our thanks for coming bowl, what that is it's the bowl or plate that we use to put extra vegetable bits or herb bits, and then we put that in a freezer bag, and then we use that on our next vegetable stock. Now I have a vegetable stock already made for today. This afternoon I'm going to make a wild rice mushroom soup that I'm also going to show you guys, but this is for the next batch. And that's why our vegetable stock will not always be exactly the same, because it really depends on what vegetables we used on any given week. And the basis for the vegetable stock you can find in our first video that we put about a month and a half ago. Yeah. But the true base for each one of our vegetable stocks, regardless of any of the herbs and extras, is carrots, celery, onion, garlic. We use peppercorns, salt, not a lot of salt because we always want to make sure that that level stays reasonable. Star anise, fennel. I'm looking at my husband right now. Red pepper. Red pepper flake. Oftentimes there's a bell pepper in there. Oftentimes there's, the stems of a green onion in there. But what is always in there? Carrot, celery, onion, always. And black peppercorn. Chris loves to grind this all the time. He does not do already ground pepper. So I've talked enough. Let's start making some potato salad. Again, here's our rustic cut, pre-boiled until knackig potatoes. Whole bag of potatoes here. We're gonna do black pepper, and I'm gonna grind until I feel like I got it right. Everything when it comes to seasoning is to taste. Got some oregano, again, to taste. Usually what I do, I'd say, my hands are clean, by the way. About a tablespoon for a whole bag, maybe a little bit more. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. I've got 2 right here, but that's good. I'm not putting a lot of salt at first. Again, salt is something that you can always add, but you cannot take away. You do not want to go nuts with the salt, especially for people who don't need that much salt in their lives, especially since I'm going to add bacon to the second half of this. I don't want to go salt crazy. So what I just did was 3 very, very small pinches, and I'm going to add olive oil. This time I am using my Greek olive oil. 1, 2, 3 rounds. Red wine vinegar. I lied. I just grabbed balsamic vinegar, and I did not mean to. So today's potato salad is going to be a little different than it usually is. Love, will you hand me the red wine vinegar? Will you hand me the red wine vinegar? I just messed up and added balsamic. And here's the great thing about potato salad. You can mess up a little bit and be okay. The flavor is still going to be there. I am going to add some red wine vinegar. As soon as I saw that it was too dark, I stopped adding. But it's going to have a bit more of a pungent flavor today than it does normally. You think sweet? Okay, well, going red wine now. Did not mean to add balsamic, only meant to add red wine. And again, I think I've said this before, you really can't mess this up The 2 rules in the kitchen are keep it clean and don't burn it down. Everything else is fixable. So, added that, tossing. Don't over toss because as you toss, you'll find that your potatoes start to break up just to the right size. My potatoes are still warm because they just came off the stove. Now I am adding, if this onion would let go, yes it will. Red pepper, it's 1 bell pepper, half of a very large red onion, and 2 stalks of green onion. Right in. What? I didn't call them chives, I called them green onions. You can add chives if you like. I'm not adding chives today. Today I am adding green onions. So what I love about this is it also makes it quite colorful. What I do not add, the look I keep looking to the side is Chris keeps talking to me and I'm just like, what? What'd you say? So now I'm back. What I do not add is mayonnaise. I don't add mayonnaise to my potato salad. And not because I don't like some mayonnaise-based potato salads, but because mine is just not mayonnaise-based. It's European style, no mayonnaise. This is perfect for an outing because you don't have to worry if it's going to go bad sitting on the table while everybody is getting their food. There's no concern about mayonnaise out in the sun. This doesn't have that problem. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like right now. As you can see, there's some color in there now. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now, I've got a handful of parsley, fresh parsley that I chopped up, going right in. A small handful of dill, and when I say a small handful of dill, this dill came from Lake City Market. It comes in a small styrofoam pack. We don't love that they use styrofoam, but it's better than that small plastic pack that you can get in other stores. A little bit that you get in those other stores in that little plastic pack is a little bit of nothing, not worth the money, does not have the flavor. Try to find a loose bunch of dill if you can, because then you'll get some flavor. If you don't, it just doesn't have the flavor. It doesn't have the smell, and it just doesn't last. Like we tried to use it last week in a recipe, and we couldn't even taste it. We used an entire one of those little plastic packs. No flavor, nothing. Oh, you can also use dry dill. With dry dill, you got to be careful because the flavor packs a punch. Now, I've got a handful of black olives that I chopped. They're kalamata olives. They're going right in. I'm not adding a lot of that, just a little bit. Okay, now, since I know my hands are clean, I'm going in with my hands because it comes to a point where the spoon ain't getting it anymore. So this is what the potato salad looks like right now. All right, that is definitely the right smell. So let's see if it's got the right taste and definitely the right consistency. So here we go. And if it's not quite where you want it, but you think it's going to get there, let it sit. Don't go adding more salt or vinegar or anything until you let it sit for a little while. I'm going to taste it. If I feel it's a little too bland, I might add a little bit of olive juice. And what I mean by olive juice is my Kalamata olives, the jar that they come in, I'll add a little bit of that juice. Oh yeah, the balsamic made it a little too sweet. It's still going to be good. I am going to add a little olive juice and a little bit more red wine vinegar. And when I say a little, that's how much I mean. And a little bit of, okay, that didn't want to come off for me. So we're going to use a napkin. Yep. And the reason I use the olive juice is just because it gives it this great brininess, and the juice is already there for you. No reason not to use it. Yes, the Barat shirt, I love these. And if I could remember who sent them out, I would totally blast her right now. I think her name is Candace Vera. These shirts are wonderful. I bought 2. This one, I was born in Bamberg, so this one says Bamberg, Germany. The other one that I have, since Chris and I went to Nuremberg American High School, says Nuremberg. So had to rep both cities. So there we go. And like I said, what I'm going to do now, because I've just added that second douse of vinegar, is I'm just going to let this sit, and I'm going to add a little bit more salt. And since my hands have been in there now, I'm not going to put them back in the salt container. There we go. I absolutely love European style potato salads. They carry so much flavor. They don't need a lot of enhancement except for the herbs and the spices and the olive oil and the vinegar. And there we go. We're done. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys tune in this afternoon when I do the wild rice mushroom soup, because that's delicious. And again, I'll prep everything beforehand, and then I'll just show you what the finished product looks like. The ending, getting everything put together, smoldering, wonderful, tasty goodness. So hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you all soon.